at Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank, California. I'm Lindsey Thiry with the Los Angeles Times, joined by USC beat reporter Gary Klein. We're back at it after a little bit of a summer vacation for at least one of us. Gary, Pac-12 Media Days. There was no Steve Sarkisian at the podium today, but there's always plenty of USC news.
Yep.
Starting off with the fact that the Trojans were picked to win the Pac-12 in the media poll.
That's right. Now, we don't participate, we don't vote in the media poll, but USC, for the first time since 2012, is at the top. And of course, we all know what happened in 2012.
I don't think we all know. Can you remind us?
Well, they started not only atop the Pac-12 media poll, but #1 in the nation, and kind of things went south.
Losing to Georgia Tech.
Losing to Georgia Tech and finishing 7-6. But the other news that came out today is the National Coaches Poll was released, and USC is number 10 in that poll. So the hype building as we finish day one here at Pac-12 Media Days with USC due up on Friday.
The hype is building. And the hype's also building for a game on October 8th. It's when Washington travels to USC, which means Huskies players will face their former coach, Steve Sarkisian. I know you caught up with a couple of the players about that game.
Yeah, they were at first kind of the company line. Well, we're thinking about the season, but they did say Deontay Cooper, running back, said or indicated Sarkisian was very supportive of him when he was there going through some knee injuries and whatnot. So he's looking forward to showing him what he's done. And I think while Chris Peterson, the Washington coach, is kind of downplayed, hey, they're not playing Sarkisian, they're playing USC players, I think that's going to be a great storyline going into that Washington game.
And interesting for Peterson because he's going to have to return to Boise to coach against his former players at Boise State. Now, UCLA has defeated USC the last 3 seasons. You talked to them about how they've been able to do it, and it's a pretty hot story so far.
Well, you know, Jake Brendel, the senior center, talked about, I asked him about facing USC's defensive line and what they had been able to do. And he said, you know, regardless of the loss of Leonard Williams for USC, they're going to have someone step up and take that role. And with lots of talented players, he thinks they will. But really, their attitude at UCLA was hit them first. Don't be the ones that got hit. And I think, you know, 3 years in a row, UCLA has done it, so USC looking to end the regular season with a victory this year.
It's not even the beginning of the season, and I know some fans will be mad because we're already digging into the bag of broken dreams. That includes Mike Bercovici from Arizona State and that Hail Mary that shocked USC last season. Mike Bercovici will be the starting quarterback for the Sun Devils this season, and that Hail Mary, he claims he's only watched it 50 times. I think he's watched it more than that.
Maybe. You know, Bercovici, of all the players that were here today for the first 6 teams, just looked so happy, comfortable to be in that role after being a backup and now finally getting his chance. And he said, you know, he's not really in the habit of throwing Hail Marys, you know, because the completion percentage is not that great. But if it comes up against USC again this season, he's ready.
I think Justin Wilcox might be ready this time too. I don't know though.
USC fans will hope so, yeah.
They absolutely will hope so. All right, so that's day 1 of Pac-12 Media Days. We'll be back here on Friday for day 2 when USC coach Steve Sarkisian and Cody Kessler and Sua Cravens are available for interviews. With Gary Klein, I'm Lindsey Thiry. We're back at it. It's almost football season.